I want to explain to you today how 2 skills were able to completely flip my life around at the age of 19. Now, to not gatekeep and be annoying, the 2 skills I'm talking about are number 1, sales, and number 2 is content. Now, more specifically, when I say sales, I mean high ticket sales. And when I say content, I mean content creation. The easiest way to explain this as to why these 2 skills complement each other so much is because sales gets you paid and content gives you leverage. Now, you might be asking, how so? Well, high ticket sales is a very common industry that most people know in the online world right now. And the way it works is very simple. All of these influencers and content creators that are popping up all sell info products or programs or courses as most people call them. And because they are taking so much time teaching the people within these programs, they don't have enough time to sell them. So there's 2 types of remote salespeople in the process of getting these people closed. Number 1 is an appointment setter who's in the DMs talking to you, acting as if it's the person trying to get you on a call. And then once you're on the call, that's where you encounter a closer, someone that is in high ticket sales who is there to use logic to essentially close you and get the deal over the line so that you join the program. So as a closer, you get 10% of the deal. Most of these programs go for about 3, 5, or even 10K a pop. So you can imagine what 10% of that commission is. It can get pretty hefty. I myself was able to make upwards of even 15K in a single month doing this. So it's pretty crazy. Now, with the content creation side of things, now how does that actually have anything to do with high ticket sales? Well, let me explain. When you're doing sales, you're getting paid. You're building a real life skill. But on the side, you've got no name for yourself, no authority in the industry, and nothing if sales accidentally goes wrong or something happens in the industry. What happens if you start posting content creation and build a personal brand, a storytelling personal brand that essentially builds a name for yourself and gives you authority? Well, you'll be in a way better position now to start a business in the future, to connect with better entrepreneurs, to have a better community, and all in all, just have leverage over everything in the entrepreneurial space. And I'm not just saying this because I've seen some other guru say it. I've said it because it's the truth behind myself. I've been able to amass around 20,000 followers now in the past year, purely just documenting my life and talking about my daily things that I do and how I make my money and whatnot. Now on this video, I want to keep it short and simple, but I also want to give you an exact roadmap as to how to start with both of these 2 different skills and basically give you a roadmap as to how to approach them. Let's start with high ticket sales. The first thing you're going to need to do to actually get into the high ticket sales space and become a closer is actually learn the skill. Become a good salesperson and understand psychology, how to read people's weak language, uncertainty on calls, and understand the fundamentals of how to actually be a closer, essentially. The main points I say that make an amazing closer are the fact that they are ruthless in challenging people's opinions. They're skeptical of prospects and leads, and they're skeptical of what they say because they want to get to the root, the truth of it, essentially. They don't follow a script, but instead they follow a framework. They follow a system of logic that makes sure that the prospect can only use their emotions to argue with logic for so long. I know it may sound a bit confusing, but to make it a bit easier to understand, think of it this way. Someone hops on a call and they're interested in buying a program or a course. They need help. They want to fix this problem in their life. But the reality is they wouldn't be looking for a program if they knew what the actual fundamental issue of why they're not making it work is. So your job as a closer is not just to sell them, but it's also to help them shift their whole identity and their mindset as to how they're approaching thinking about starting a business or doing whatever it is they're trying to buy, essentially. So off that call, you not only come off with a closed deal and some commission, maybe $500 to $1,000 in your pocket, but you'll also come off knowing that you helped this person shift their own mindset towards a better version of themselves that is going to make sure that anything they try in their life is going to work out and they're going to achieve no matter what. And they have this concept that failure is not an option and it's impossible, essentially. Now for the content creation side of things, it's a little bit more different because the content creation game takes a lot of consistency, being very ruthless, and being very disciplined with yourself in terms of posting. First things first, in order to get into content, the first thing you need to understand is that people watch things that are relatable. If you boast about how much money you make or how amazing your lifestyle is, no one's going to actually want to watch you because why would you want to watch someone boasting about lifestyle? It's not relatable to a lot of people, in fact to 99% of the population. But if you're an entrepreneur, for example, that's struggling to make their first bit of money with their business, why don't you document the fact that you're struggling with that? Use it to your advantage and get people to build a community, be relatable, and then people are going to start supporting you, going to start texting you, you're going to start building this community thanks to you sharing your relatability. Now that's pillar 1. Pillar 2 is authenticity. You need to show up as your true self on camera. Nowadays there are so many creators out there and people in content creation that seem to be so inauthentic, and although they've grown to massive numbers and following, there's no real connection to the person. And if everyone down the line you want to build a business through your personal brand, you have to have some sort of raw connection and authenticity to your followers. So how do you become authentic? The reality is, it's like a muscle. When you go to the gym, you do reps, and you slowly build your muscle, you take protein every time. It's the exact same thing with content. You've got to start posting videos thinking that, or not even thinking, but actually speaking as if you were speaking to a friend on camera. That's what's going to be the most authentic. And you'll get feedback, trust me. People are very critical online. They're very, very specific with who they follow and who they don't follow. So if you ask your audience for advice, they will help you and they will tell you, essentially. Now, I know this roadmap might have been super simple, but I just wanted to make a quick 5, 10, or even 20-minute video explaining how sales and content was able to change my life. And if I'm to just answer that question straight away, sales got me paid in the fact that I was able to make over 150K in my second year of being in high ticket sales, which is fucking nuts. Keeping in mind that I'm now 20 years old, but I was 19 when that was happening. And then content creation, it's enabled me to build an amazing community, travel around the world and meet like-minded people, and also build partnerships with brands and set myself up for the future if I ever want to start a business. And now you may be asking, Joe, this is great. Thank you for this knowledge. You've told me about your life. You've told me a little bit of a roadmap of how to get started. How do I actually do this now? If you actually are interested in getting into high ticket sales and into content creation and doing what I'm saying, I recommend you take a look at the description in this YouTube video, and I'll leave a link to book a call with myself. You'll be speaking one-on-one with me or with one of my teammates, and he'll walk you through the whole process of exactly what we do, how we do it, and how we can help you at a larger scale. Heads up, it's a paid program. If you don't want to do it, then feel free to just not book a call. But if you are interested in investing in your future and actually choosing a different path, book that call, and hopefully I'll see you inside the program. Lots of love. Peace.